Kai'Sa locked in here for the side of Good Game Easy Life, and the
Swain
R5.
flexed into support.
Yep, the R5 Lissandra.
Yeah, that could provide some really good utility. If Kargeli is able to find Juicy Boy Jamie on the sidelines and lock the cannon out with the vast amount of crowd control that Lissandra does provide these comps. So a level 1 is not out of the question, and we do see GG, EL, and Odyssey both stacking.
But it looks like they're both just defensively stacking here against each other. One team fearing the Nautilus invade, the other team's fearing the Swain. So it is just gonna, be a bit of a nothing burger moment happening here.
Yep.
2 defensive wards here placed for the side of Odyssey. Absolutely nothing there. Committed by Brain Fart. Good Game Easy Life. But yeah, both junglers appearing to be, I'll say both junglers starting from their red side. Ivan is a bit of an enigma when it comes to pathing. He can do whatever he wants. And, it doesn't require a leash whatsoever.
No, exactly. And can even start in the enemy jungle if circumstances do allow. But on this occasion, both junglers opting to start on their respective red buffs. So going to be clearing in the opposite direction from each other.
Big Nether move landed there to start the wave. That's immediately just 10 health gained. Which sounds a bit spoiled, to be honest, when I say it out loud, but...
No, but it's 10 health gained, and it's the chip damage onto the Kai'Sa and the Nautilus. And it's going to be... You would imagine Odyssey with the pressure in this bot lane if they are able to find the poke. Obviously, if slightly smaller A and Westy are able to find the engages, then they should be pretty fine themselves. But a bit of back and forth in the top lane, and we actually have champions that can do damage up here today.
God bless, we don't have to spectate 2 tanks hitting each other for 30 minutes.
God bless, no wet noodle fight. There is actually a chance of a kill up here.
Yeah, we do see Narn, starting to get quite low there just because of the fact that he is one of the squishiest champs in the game. Like, Dredgeline collects onto Dodgy, that is half his health taken. Never Move does manage to land in return, and that's 2 champs half health.
Yeah, and as Odyssey, you're actually probably feeling alright about that one, as another root's going to land there on to Westy. Big damage coming through with Dusk lurking in the wings. It's going to flash over, but not nearly falls. Twisted Advance probably is available, but the Never Move will land. Cleanse forced out from the Kai'Sa, and Westy running for the hills. The Glacial Augment will keep him alive, and now it's all turned around onto Judgy Rock's lethal tempo stack. Dredgeline lands, the exhaust goes down, and the Swain is going to live. Just first blood for the Kai'Sa. Slightly smaller AB and Goval now, and Nuts with the Samira has the blades flying. Rack and Juicy Boy Jamie now in the 1v1 in the top lane. Nar gonna fall. Kennen just about gonna walk away as Samira collects another one. Spores keeping his top laner alive at the last second.
When do we get action at like 3 minutes in UNL? What's happening here, guys? What are we doing?
Something. Yeah, something's in the water. Maybe this is a sign of things to come for today. It's not gonna execute.
It's a fast back.
Ooh, very nice route there from Spores, predicting Kargali's claw. Nothing gonna come of it, but just getting in the head of the Odyssey mid laner.
Let's try and just digest everything that happened there. We see the 2v2 happening bot lane. Nuts getting caught out. Being forced to exhaust and flash away defensive. We've seen Dusk flash over the wall. Unfortunately, not really able to get in range and achieve anything until the side of Good Game Easy Life turn around.
Yeah,
start fighting.
Judgy overchased and died, but then both members of the GGEL bot lane overchased and died.
And then, and then meanwhile in the top lane, something I didn't notice is it was Cold Start Kennen does manage to just, again, Nar being an incredibly squishy champion, pokes him down to half health while he's mini, waits out the rage and does the other half the health, barely winning the trade.
Just surviving thanks to a very, very good shield coming through from Spores.
And then
Dusk
not
gonna look to make something happen up in the top lane. Slow's gonna come down from the boomerang of Rack. A stun is charged up by Juicy Boy Jamie, and the stun is flashed away from Twisted Advance. Though gonna come through. Dusk going under the tower for this one, taken very, very low by the Kennen, but Rack collects that one with a boulder toss. And now action again in the bot lane. Nuts diving forward on to the Kai'Sa, but no lethal damage gonna come through.
A lot of action in this game. I'm not used to this. This might be an exhausting cast, not because it's not because it's boring, but because there's too much to talk about. Meanwhile, just in the mid lane, both mid laners out of mana, just right-clicking waves to death.
Yeah, and we're not used to seeing the mid laners being the 0-0-0 players in a game. But not been a lot of action there, really.
Interesting thing of note here is, like, again, you're looking at jumble impact in this game. Dusk has managed to find, participation in all 3 of these kills so far. Meanwhile, Spores hasn't really been able to achieve anything. Man, showed up late to the top lane, but pretty much was there in the event that Juicy Boy Jamie died to pick up the revenge. Scratch that. Got another fight going on.
Another fight going on in the bot lane. It is just non-stop action. Nuts and Judgy Rocks with an advantage and wanting to push it as far as they can. The style starting to stack up, but no Inferno trigger to pull. As again, another trade comes to nothing. Another Never move is going to land, but Judgy is dancing on the edge of his health bar.
Yeah, we do see them just, eating summoner spells. First, the exhaust forced out from Westy to make sure that they don't die, followed by
Nice top.
the cleanse there when the Never move corrects. Yeah. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Rack just plays leapfrog.
Yeah,
Happens.
hop, skip, jump, and
Annie.
he is out to safety.
But that's one of the things that makes Nog actually kind of hard to gank, because if you're coming from behind him, he will just play hopscotch on your head.
Yeah, he will Goomba stomp you.
I think the Goomba Stomp's more of like the Mega
Gnar.
Crunch.
Yeah, fair. That's fair.
That's more of a Goomba Stomp, but
Spores, though, looking around the mid lane, trying to find an angle onto Kargile.
despite the fact that Odyssey are a kill up right now, it's still even Stevens in the gold department, but partially because of the first blood, but like 2 out of 3 lanes currently higher CS.
Nice claw. Big shock blast lands though. Not going to threaten Kargile's life too much, and now Spores returning to the bot side jungle.
So yeah, we are seeing ults come online for the solo lanes and the junglers now.
Big chunk onto the Kai'Sa. Judgy's been really accurate with these Never moves so far.
I'd say that's one thing that, Kai'Sa struggles with. If she's in auto range, like, she doesn't have much counterplay to the Never move. Nautilus base damage, by the way.
Nautilus hook hitbox, by the way.
Yeah. The Dredge line plus Nautilus base damage, just half health CAD carry, Mighty Small A, didn't even get to play. Again, Spores hanging around this bot lane, looking for ganks, but it's just, permanently spotted out by that ward.
Yeah, really good job from Nuts and Judgy to keep their flanks bright and clear for vision, keeping the bot lane completely safe from ganks. Spores looking for potentially an invade here onto Dusk. Does have bot lane priority, so Westy and slightly smaller A able to move first. If
we do actually have Rack down here.
Yeah, and the Gnar looping around behind, and here comes the Nature's Grasp. Dusk fails the flash over the wall, and Oswald going to be the beneficiary, picks up the first, and now it's Rack, Judgy, and Nuts versus the world. Westy flashing over the wall onto the Gnar. No Mega available as Oswald going to follow across the Swain, chunked very, very low, and there's no level 6s on the Swain. No Demonic Ascension available as Rack going to be taken very low. Daisy picks one up, and Spores does have the shield available. Will keep themselves alive on a sliver, but Judgy secures the most important kill of the fight onto Daisy.
Yeah, we just watched Daisy punch a child to death. It's kind of messed up if you think about it. Yeah, they get the invade pick on Dusk there, fails the, kisses the wall, dies, But then they also just have enough damage in their kits to then, you know, force the bot lane out and just kill Rack. And that roam, while it looked good, Rack never managed to find Mega there. If he'd found it, that was probably a free kill. But yeah, we are going to see Dusk try and contest this dragon, but Oswald's going to move in. Interesting though, like, none of them have spent their gold here, so they are at like a gold deficit right now, but yeah, none of their team just in position to contest anything whatsoever, and we are seeing good game, easy life. Dragon up 100,000? 1,500 gold ahead here, and a good start to this game.
If they were 100,000 gold ahead, I'd be worried. I'd be very, very worried.
And that's just my average, you know, solo queue.
Solo queue experience, yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, we have seen, you know, for a brief moment there, we did see Kargili walking top lane just to cover that wave while Rack roam, but we have returned back to normal wave states now. We could potentially see like a Nature's Grasp across the wall here with Lissandra, you know, CC train to confirm it, but looks like we might potentially see some Herald fighting here.
The thing is, and maybe we could have brought this up as a discussion point during the draft, a Maokai-Lissandra mid-jungle duo is quite low damage comparative to Ivern and Jace. A lot of CC, but relatively low damage.
You say it's low damage, but if they like manage to lock down one of them and just kill it before it can do anything, low damage doesn't matter at that point.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, we are seeing like the Herald started up here by Ivan and his girlfriend Daisy. Is it wrong to say that? I don't know.
I
but
don't know.
yeah, unfortunately, Odyssey just have no idea. We see Dusk backing here, so it's just going to be a free Herald picked up, and yeah, objective control right now is on point.
Yeah, no, looking very, very solid for GGEL this early game. I would almost go as far to say that this may be their best early game of the season so far.
But yeah, it's just rare to see, you know, Rack struggling this much in lane. Like, it's not normal to see him being the one getting pushed in and level down.
Yeah, normally it is him, the one doing the pushing.
But, you know, despite that lengthy roam he took bot lane, he is still equal CS. We do see the Herald being committed already. We'll see Kargili teleporting in to try and stifle some of the damage.
Yeah, Spores, potentially no. Claw not going to be taken. But that, arguably, you know, it's minimum reward, minimum return from your Rift Herald. A little bit questionable, possibly. But it does force a teleport advantage for Oswald on this Jace. Whilst it's not up now, he will have about a 3-minute window where the Jace has teleport and the Lissandra does not.
Important to note as well is that is, like, wait, is that? Do you have upgrade? Yeah, you have upgrade teleports at this point, don't you? Never mind.
Yeah, it's 10 minutes.
I can't remember if it was 10 or 14 still.
No, it went back to 10 a while ago.
Hey man, I don't play lanes. We do see both junglers converging on the bot lane here. We see the depth charge taken out.
And a big Nature's Grasp gonna find its way onto Spore. The Inferno Trigger is now ready for Nuts when it is decided to put a massive slicing maelstrom from Juicy Boy Jamie finds one. Gonna find a second on to Nuts as well, and now it's just Dusk. The Lumberjack has arrived, but a flash takes the Maokai to safety.
The slicing maelstrom, it definitely sliced. Just a man arrived in the middle of 3 people, pressed R, pressed W.
Yeah, and then pressed Proto Belt, and then everything melted. Health bars evaporating.
Yeah, what looked like a really good start of the fight there to for Odyssey, you know. Like, depth charge gets committed, but with the you know, Yasuo Windwall Electric Boogaloo, they managed to stop anything else from landing. Like, it ate the root, it ate the dredge line, but then, and yeah, managed to pick up a kill afterwards. But then, yeah, Kennen arrived, pressed 2 buttons, and the entire team died.
Yeah,
well, not the entire team.
No, but Kennen arrived, pressed 2 buttons, and won the team fight on his own. We talked about Pikachu using Thunderbolt in draft. That was Pikachu using Thunder in the rain. It did not miss.
But yeah, it's like, again, just the counter engage. That's one of the things that could scare this team, especially with that, you know, slicing maelstrom. And exactly as we said happened.
I'm intrigued. Can we have a look at how many stacks Judgy Rocks has been able to farm up on the Swain passive after this fight, if we get a fight? Doesn't actually, never mind. We're not going to get a fight. So, is that what, 20 stacks already?
Yeah, 20 stack.
Okay.
So, 240 HP.
It's not bad, as we are going to see an engagement. That 240 HP does not mean a lot when a Jace, Nautilus, and Kaiser gets on top of you. Whew.
We don't even get to see the Demonic Ascension come out.
No. Although I don't think it would have changed anything. I really, really don't think him pressing R there matters at all.
We are going to see him looking for the dive, but Oswald is spotted out. He's going to just land on top of Cargilly, but...
Yeah, but Cargilly does not want that. Cargilly gets annihilated, doesn't go for the self-ult, and now it's Nuts under a tower versus 3. Can he charge up the Inferno trigger? No. Nature's Grasp is too little, too late. Catches Westy under the tower and might net Dusk 1 kill, but it's only going to be 1 kill. Odyssey collect 3. No, not Odyssey. GGEL collect 3. I'm getting my teams confused.
Yeah, it's, you know, 3 kills for 1 on your Evan Shroud Malphite? Maokai? Basically the same champ. But, yeah, it's... Odyssey's win streak is looking like it's going to be dismantled very quickly here, although again, with the likes of the Samira, all it takes is 1 explosive play and...
Yeah. Well, just with a team comp like the one Odyssey have drafted, right? We talked about all of the circles in the draft. If Odyssey are able to line up all of those circles, then it could very quickly be curtains for GGEL. But currently, the most impactful circle is slightly smaller A, going to dive forward, assassinates the Swain under his own tower.
It's...
But yeah, the only circle that matters currently is that juicy boy Jamie Kennenault, as we're going to see Rack dives forward, whiffs the Gnar.
I mean, you say whiff the Gnar, he's level 11, which means... Okay, Nautilus.
It's being dove. Okay, I think that's... We'll call that one ambitious.
That's an ambitious dive, but when you see a dredge line like that connect, I don't, you know, blame the dopamine hit that he got from pressing the R afterwards, because... As always, Nautilus Hook, adept at curving around towers, as we saw just there.
Yeah, not the I don't know if you know, but the skill shot for Nautilus Hook is actually the same as Diana Q. It's just
It really feels like it.
Like...
It really feels like it. But yeah, again, going back to that Roof Disruption block, like you can already see the Gnar ult is back up. There is no reason not to press it at the end of every transformation once you hit level 6, because it's a level 60 cooldown. It's a 60-second cooldown, and 60 seconds does not mean much in League of Legends.
No.
When
Especially
you consider
when you're mini for what, like 45 seconds before you can go Mega again?
You're forced mini for a long time, so
yeah.
It's just always up at level 11.
And Judgy potentially getting himself caught behind a rock in a hard place here. Is Rack going to turn onto Oswald, flash away from the Jace, going to keep him alive for now. Here comes the Nature's Grasp, locks down the Ivern, and Cargilly gets himself on the board.
And yeah, that's, you know, the power of hard CC. While they might be low damage, like, Ivan isn't exactly renowned for his tankiness either, and if you just press all your CC buttons on it...
And speaking of CC buttons, that's falling foul of another Nautilus Hook.
The Flash Dredge line catching Nuts, you know, unaware, doesn't manage to get the spin to win on it. And considering Nuts is, you know, the star player of this team, he's not looking too good right now.
Yeah,
I'll say the star player in terms of rank, but... Meanwhile, it's just...
This is what we expect to see from Rack, though.
Yeah, it's just... It's not doing much damage. You'd think with a Triforce be doing a bit more damage, but it's just struggling there.
The Flash, Twisted Advance coming through. The Jace not taking any damage now the Ivern has arrived. Teleport is channeled as well from McKinnon. Slicing Maelstrom to come through, but it only finds 1. Demonic Ascension is not enough. Dusk falls in the mid lane, as does Judgy, eviscerated there by the Kennen and Ivern damage.
And the Herald doesn't get to do anything. Shock Blast is starting to do, you know, 1/4 HP, it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, Rack takes the tower though. and now is going to try and take away the Kai'Sa. Has the Mega ready to go. Can he get in range? No.
I was a bit worried we were about to see Kai'Sa fly into a Gnar ult then, but I'm glad we didn't. Because, you know, you might be 6-1 and 3 on Kai'Sa, one-shotting people, but Mega Gnar will kill you.
Well, hey,
do
man,
you see the
it's
chains...
just the Lee syndrome.
Could we get a check as to who the chains is on that we've seen Maokai pick up here?
My guess is Kai'Sa, but it is purely a guess.
Yeah, it's Kai'Sa.
So
you...
wanting to lock down that AD carry.
I think Nuts is just dead here.
Yeah, there's not really a lot you could say about that. Well, as soon as the shot blast lands, there's nothing to play by play on that. It's just a mid laner doing mid lane things to an AD carry.
Yep, and through exhaust, you know, you got caught on the map. Unlucky. Back to base.
Yeah, unlucky, buddy. Grey screen simulator for you. But yeah, no, this Kai'Sa becoming quite a threat, and going for the on-hit build is Dusk. It's going to be the target here. Judgy in the area. Nature's Grasp thrown down, and it's Oswald that is bearing the brunt of the damage. Dusk not quite going to fall, and the Demonic Ascension has come through. Oswald, realizing there's no way out, turns it round, makes it a 1-for-1. Kargili, the beneficiary of that. Nice flash over the wall from Spore. Finds the root onto Kargili as well. The Lissandra trying to kite herself away, and Ivern going to handshake it. Kennen and Rack going 1v1, and Daisy the only casualty.
Can't believe it. Spore's made it out of that alive. That was... You know, that's not the obvious direction to flash in that way, but it's the absolute correct one there, as it buys his team enough time to bail him out. And it does get them positioned on the Dragon here, although they do have to be careful as, you know, one of their damage dealers is gone, but we still have a Slicing Maelstrom, you know, ready to rip, Dredge Line. Although that is a, you know, Mega Gnar that could just slam you all into a wall.
Oswald coming in with a teleport. Joining the fight here on the flank, but this engage comes through. Slicing Maelstrom down and is on 2-3. Nuts diving forward, trying to get that Inferno trigger off, but nothing comes of it. 3 quick kills for GGEL, make that 4 as Judgy is silenced, and it's going to be Dragon number 3 here
and we
for
should
the GGL roster lineup.
And that should just be Soul as well, should they choose to play for it, which it does look like they will. We're seeing the pings come out. You know, blue buff taken away, just 'cause why not, we're in the area. And it's a 6k gold lead, and it's about to get even worse.
Yeah, because it's about to be Baron.
But, like, these team fights can't go much better for them, because, like, the Gnar got into the backline, he got the stuns, but, oh, is this going to be a solo kill for Kargili here?
Nope, it's going to be a solo kill for Oswald. Finds the Lissandra in...
I'm going to pretend I didn't see that Q go over the wall. Yeah. Because that would have killed, so it is really sad to watch, but...
It's fine, we pretend we didn't see it, it's fine.
Yeah, Baron picked up, and, again, back to what I was talking about. Like, the Gnar got into the backline, got the ult, but because Kennen pressed R before the Samira went in, like, she went in, started doing her combo, just got stunned and couldn't get ult anymore, and just once, you know, the enemy team is no longer in the Gnar CC train, just turn around and kill it. It's... Yeah, 7k gold lead, they've got Barons, 3 Dragons. How do they get out of this game? Or, not how do they get out, how do they get back into the game, I should say. Like... It's just... annihilation, I don't know what else to say. But... Again, they will just use this Baron, you know, try and take down structures. Interestingly, they're playing more of a 4-1 here as opposed to a 1-3-1.
It does make sense, though. I don't think the Kennen matches up particularly well into either the Lissandra or the Gnar in the 1v1.
Yeah, especially now that the Gnar has a Fortune Nature online. Interesting to see that being the MR item of choices, and there isn't too much magic damage. Actually, that's a lie, there's a Kai'Sa.
Yeah, there is a Kai'Sa.
Even if it's building AD, it's still doing magic damage and stacking it for you for free.
And, I mean, Ivan and Nautilus will also both deal predominantly magic damage. A slightly smaller A, going to dive forward here onto Dusk. Nature's Grasp forced out, actually, so a really nice little pick there. Beautiful Jamie diving into the back line. Judgy Rock's trying to play Protector, but I don't know if it's going to be enough, and he will fall. Kai'Sa finds one. Westy flashing forward for the stuns. If Furnace Trigger gets pulled, but Juicy Boy Jamie, Rack though with a massive Gnar into the wall, going to find 3 to answer. Oswald and Spore versus just Kargili, 4 for 3 in the fight. An accelerated Shock Blast would probably kill, but a Lissandra self-ult will take Kargili to safety.
That's the kind of swings they need if they want to win this game.
Oh, what a route from Spores.
Yeah, that is also just a dead Lissandra.
That's not game. That's not game.
Yeah, it won't be game because they are respawning.
I asked the question for a second, but no, it's not.
But Rack, do it like again. That's the best fight they've had so far, and they still end up losing an in-head for it. But Rack there finds the Mega Gnar onto 3 low health people, and you know an RCC train is nothing to scoff at. Manages to, you know, turn around a bad fight. So instead of it being game-ending, it's just I know what I want to say. I can't say it. So instead of game-ending, it's just bad. But again, they've managed to keep the gold lead about the same, even though they've lost some of those important structures. But it was 1k gold shutdowns on some of these players. Like, again, Rack, since that last fight, now is another full item. Picking up the Black Cleaver here. But yeah, he can't match the Jace.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think anyone can match the Jace at this point. Oswald, 7, 1, and 7 on this pick. Those shock blasts going to be hurting considerably, I think, at this point.
Yeah, with Soul coming up here in 30 seconds, like, that shield is going to make it a lot harder for this, you know, Death will blow everyone up team to do that, so yeah, they don't even have a chance to contest this really either, because they're all scrambling within their base trying to protect these flanks from the Kennen and Jace split pushing. So, you know, 10 seconds this dragon spawns and it should just get taken for free. Like, one shock blaze on Judgy Rocks there, it's half his HP.
Yeah, and I wanted to touch on earlier, actually, the Jace itemization. Obviously, not the Jace itemization, the Swain itemization. Yeah, we've already talked about Oswald. Rushing the Liandries on the Swain, is that worthwhile, or would you have rather seen potentially something like a Rylai's rush first to potentially stop some of the dive and slow down the members of GGEL?
I mean, I'd say with this team comp, with lots of the circles, I think the Rylai's would have been the better first pick up here. Which, especially when you're this far behind, like retroactively, it would have been a good pick up either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Soul picked up. Bigger health bars now for the entire side of Good Game Easy Life, and you know they should just be able to barrel into this base and win. Again, Kennen on the top lane, but he has the TP ready, and if they're like any of the others, they will be game ending.
Yeah, Nuts loses a third of his health bar there. We do see a really nice flanking ward actually there by the base gate as well, if Juicy Boy Jamie is required to TP in. They have already completed the goal of the Baron buff, which is break the base. Oswald taking not really any damage thanks to Mountain Soul and Spores, very quick on the shield. And the Kennen slowly just edges closer and closer to the GGEL base, and now they pull the trigger. Westy eats the root, and the Gnar finds 2 into the wall, actually slightly smaller A flashing away, but this will be Rack that falls first in the fight. Teleport is channeled, and Juicy Boy Jamie going to look for a way in. The Slicing Maelstrom thrown down onto 1, and it's going to be Dusk falling 2 for 0 on the fight. GGEL advancing, GGEL finding more kills. Nuts answers back with 1, but it is going to be just a mere consolation as Kargili, the last man standing. Zhonya's Hourglass under the tower will fall to the Kennen. GGEL take the fight and probably the game alongside it.
Yeah, it's just they're playing this team comp that needs to pull the trigger, but they lost the early game, and then from there onwards, every time they try and pull the trigger, this, you know, counter engage comp just completely fucks them. There is no more eloquent way to put it, but Yeah, they're going to take the base here with 10k gold lead, and that's Odyssey's win streak in the gutter now.
Yeah, the win streak for Odyssey is broken. GGEL move to, what is that, 2 and 4?